This isn't going to be easy for me to talk about, but it honestly might affect my content in some ways, so I think it's probably best that I do. Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm SomeGuyCalledJack, and earlier this week a fellow creator uploaded what I thought was a very brave video speaking about how his relationship ended. Dylan from DCaugh Studios, if you don't know him, I'll leave a link to his video down in the description. He's actually inspired me to talk about something that I've honestly been too scared to talk about. I mean, there's a few reasons that I don't want to talk about it. They'll sort of come up as the video goes on. This is something that happened, like, it was a couple of weeks ago now, but it is still affecting me a little bit. I had to break up from, I had to sort of get out of a long-term relationship. I ended a long-term relationship. Honestly, the first reason that I haven't spoken about it until now is because, I mean, I don't know that many people at all even knew about the relationship. I kept it quite well hidden. I think maybe a couple of my friends knew about it. I didn't even tell my family about it, so if I've got any family watching now who are thinking, what's going on here? I didn't even tell those about it. We were together for a fairly long time, I think. Not like, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that long, but it was kind of a fair amount of time. I think it was like around August last year that I actually said to myself, wow, like, you know, okay, this is like a serious relationship now. So that's like nearly a year now. So it's been quite a while. One of the things that she insisted on since the start was that she was very private about everything. She didn't want to be like appearing in videos. She didn't want to do like cheesy couples tags or cute like little date vlogs and stuff like that. She didn't want to do any of that. And I was perfectly fine with that. I think, like, I never actually said anything to him, but my roommate, my old housemate, I think he might have seen her a few times, but I don't know if he thought anything of it. So I don't even know if he knew what was going on. It was all like very, very secretive, and I spoke to her recently and she said that I can make this video as long as I don't include too many details, like I don't tell what her name was or anything like that, because she doesn't want, she's just very private. She didn't want any sort of anything like that. So when we first got together, everything were, I mean, we were friends for a little bit before, but once like we started seeing each other properly, everything was, it was so great. I was so happy. I'd see her all the time. She'd be there through like my ups and downs, my mood swings and stuff. She'd be there when I was happy, she was there when I was sad, she was there when I was stressed out about anything. And like even though she didn't appear on the video, she didn't, like, you know, she didn't want to be in front of the camera. She did help out a lot with like ideas and behind the scenes stuff. She did help out a lot with that. I guess with the majority of my, well, all of my immediate family being at the other end of the country, I don't see them that much, so I suppose I don't know if this was unfair of me, but I guess I kind of started leaning on her as sort of like almost like a substitute, just to help me deal with like loneliness and stuff like that. But as happens a lot, as time went on, we kind of drifted apart a little bit. I couldn't even tell you why. I guess, you know, people just do that, don't they? But as things were getting further and further along, I was seeing her less and less, and whenever I did see her, we'd be arguing a lot more than we used to, and things just started deteriorating. Here's what it was. We both had plans for the future and what we wanted to do with our lives, and I don't think those plans lined up as well as they should have done. I started focusing quite a lot more on YouTube and making my content as good as it could be, and like I was working a lot and I was not seeing her as much as I should have done. And then the real kicker, it came the other week, like I say, a couple of weeks ago, is when I did my first driving lesson, and I was really excited about it. I was telling all my friends, I was telling my family, I told my YouTube friends who I've never even met in person, but I forgot to say anything to her, and I think that says quite a lot about the state of our relationship at that point, that she just wasn't at the top of the list of people who I wanted to tell. So she came round and we sort of sat and talked for a bit, We realised that there was a problem, there'd been a problem for a while, and that maybe it was time to call it a day. It was quite mutual. It was upsetting, but it was quite mutual. We both agreed that, you know, the sun had set. I do still see her sometimes when I'm walking about. I just sort of catch a glimpse of her, but it's not really awkward or anything, because it's just for like a second and then she's gone. It's like she wasn't even there. I do definitely feel lonely sometimes though now, especially now that she's gone, because I've never been great at expressing emotions. I spoke a bit about that in my mental health video. I've never been great at expressing emotions, and I think this whole sort of ordeal hasn't made that any better. I have developed some coping mechanisms, but I'm not sure that they're entirely healthy. Don't wanna be all by myself anymore. Look, at the end of the day, relationships are hard. Relationships are really hard. I mean, they're difficult enough when it's two people who are like, they're on the same page and they're on the same path and they're super compatible. It is almost impossible to make something work when you're two completely different people with like separate goals and separate ambitions and just separate personalities altogether. Like, just imagine, it might even work better if you actually have a partner, but just imagine trying to have a connection with someone when only one of you exists.